This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Boulder, Colorado. I am here at Mandala Infusion, brand new for 2016. They have been providing a small piece of Tibetan culture for the local community here in Boulder. I'm here with the general manager as well as owner. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here today. Share with me a little bit how you became here in Boulder.
When I moved to the state in 2010 and I visited Boulder, Colorado, while I was living in Portland, Oregon, and I found this place very interesting, like the similar altitude, the similar mountains, the homes, the small town where I grew up in Tibet. So it feels like a small city, but it's just big enough. And just wanted to be here, and I moved to here 2010. The Tibetan community, we do have about 300 Tibetans here, and the Tibetan culture is very celebrated here in Colorado.
Your general manager here, is this something that you've been exposed to in the past, or is this kind of new to you as well?
I've been in this industry my whole life, over 20 years. Opened up quite a few restaurants, including for Gordon Ramsay, Charlie Palmer, just to name a few names. Takla and I were friends way before this happened. Was actually having a drink somewhere, and he tapped me on the shoulder, and he's like, I'm going to open a restaurant.
The rest is history, as they say, right? Two friends come together. I have introduced many bistros throughout Colorado. Never introduced a Tibetan bistro. What is a bistro like back there?
So this is not common in Tibetan, but I would like to have incorporate more than just a Tibetan. My life is in America, and we have this Tibetan, authentic Tibetan culture, but yet to have a modern, bolder Tibetan. And the bistro is unusual, like the light is in our sitting areas very modern, like the Western style. But we do have pieces that we brought from Tibet and make that authentic pieces of the place. It feels like we are in a Tibetan, even like the arts, the trends of the walls and our designs.
One thing I notice when I walk in here, first of all, I'm greeted at the front door with a prayer wheel. I mean, that's very cool. I also see the normal tables on the floor. This is a common of that culture as well. How has the community embraced that? Do they like coming into something new?
It is. The prayer wheel is Tibetan Buddhism. We do pray around it. This particular prayer wheel has a Manipema mantra, which is compassion and love. When you added the 6 syllables together. Each mantra has a different meaning, but what I explain to people, when you're spinning clockwise, this is the power of the mantra goes to the universe. And the Sangha table back there, this is how we sit at the big tables. Families usually together with the lunch, breakfast, all meals together, family, communities. This is how we start the day. End of the day, that's where the conversation starts, and a good food.
Absolutely. One of the things I notice here, Stefan, is the energy is great when you walk in. They say basically a plant or two will bring life into a place, and you've gone beyond that. Tell me a little bit about the herb garden.
Well, it's something that we've been working on for months and months. Truthfully, it was a mess out there, and it took some time, took a lot of effort and sweat. There was a couple of staff members that to take it upon themselves to help us out with the herb garden, and it's a true blessing. We've been using that garden on a daily basis. We're planning to do more. Probably grow some mushrooms for the winter time.
We're talking about very fresh herbs. You're the host of a new restaurant here. Have you been involved in the restaurant industry before this?
No, this is actually my first job.
This is kind of a unique experience for folks that you're bringing here. Were you familiar with this type of cuisine before you started working?
I was. I'm actually half Tibetan, so I grew up eating this kind of food, so I'm very familiar with it.
What is your favorite on the menu?
My favorite is probably the lamb momos.
It seems the kids love momos, adults love momos, pretty much across the board. Some of the younger folks that walk in here, how do they embrace this food? What do they think?
I think it's something that they probably haven't had before if you didn't grow up eating it, so it's pretty unique and something new.
I see a lot of regulars already starting to come back. Is it kind of neat to build the small family, if you will?
It really is. I like seeing people come back again that I recognize their face. It's really nice.
Excellent. Did you grow up enjoying food as a child?
Always have been, because when I was a child we had very little to eat, so we constantly think about food and imagination.
Tell me a little bit about the plate that I've got in front of me.
This is actually very universal, but this is called actually brick chicken, but what we do is actually we fillet the chicken ourselves, marinate it, and cook it right in order.
I see potatoes, fresh vegetables. That's pretty much a staple in any one of the meals.
Indeed. Again, with the potato, when I cook it, we actually put herbs and lemon in it, so you get a bit of different taste than a normal potatoes.
This is something that can be eaten as a group starter, but it also can be eaten almost as an entree, really.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, this is very unique for Tibetan, because when we get together, we always make a family or a group of friends, and we make together and then eat it. There's actually much more pleasure in making it than sometimes eating it.
The folks that come in here, many times they've never tried this type of cuisine before. Is it kind of nice for you to see when their plate's all clean?
Indeed, most of the time. Yesterday I just had an experience that someone's licking the plate, empty plate, and that gives me such a pleasure.
Kind of neat to share with the Boulder community Tibetan culture right here in a small community environment.
Especially in the United States, I think Boulder is one of the most unique places for Tibetan to thrive, and I think it's such a pleasure for us to be able to accommodate that kind of culture here right in this Boulder.
Excellent. Let's move flavor forward, as you guys say, and let's get into some of these dishes. Let's start off with an appetizer, what people can start with. You have to educate our viewers on what a momo is. Tell me what that is.
Momo is very traditional Tibetan dishes. Usually in Tibet, it's like ceremony, celebrations, we make momos. It takes lots of labors. It's you kneading the dough, you need to let it raise, you prepare the vegetables freshly every day. It's just a great dish. And what we do here, we use a high quality dough like semolina we use it here. We use the lambs and the vegetables in the momo. The herbs coming from backyard garden, and the lambs from local lambs. So, we focus flavor forward, like meaning from the flavor is coming from the food.
A momo can be either a veggie momo, it can be a lamb momo, can be eaten as a starter, or even I see that there's an entree lamb momo. Is that correct?
I mean, it could really be any momo. We call it infusion for a reason. It's a bistro. What it really is a modern take on a Tibetan bistro, something that I don't think has ever been done before. And also making sure, again, that everything is organic, everything is local, and we do the best we can to make that happen.
A pickled root vegetable. I see that in a Mandela slate dish. Tell me about that.
So the pickled vegetables can be a very traditional food in Tibetan. We do like this in the falls. We will pickle a bunch of vegetables, and we have that all winter long tail experience. We do golden beets, carrot, we do onion, daikon radish. One of our chefs used to work in a high-end sushi restaurant. So he brought all these techniques. It may not be a very Tibetan dishes, but that's again Mandala infusion. Our food is not just focused on Tibetan. It's like the Boulder and beyond. It's a true bistro that has traditional authentic food twisted, and we have brick chickens and tuna leaves.
That is fantastic. The entree names you're going to have to help me with. Can't pronounce some of them. I see things that are familiar, like sweet potato noodles. I even see ingredients like that of sirloin. Tell me what's your favorite.
My personal favorite is called tukpa. You could have a couple different options right now. One is a vegetable broth with our garden vegetables. And then you also have a bone broth option. It's a 2-day process just for the broth itself. And then we add those vegetables, and to that we add crispy pork belly, which is from the same company that's local and organic, and that's just a great addition to things. Yeah.
Crispy pork belly, I heard him say. What is that exactly for folks that have never tried something like that before?
Crispy pork belly, how we finish is here. We marinated it, and if you use our herbs, we baked it for a while until it's cooked. Then it's ready to eat. But when we serve it, we put it on a grill. So the skin like really crispy, and it's just like a perfect pork, when there's a fat in the meat. It's just perfect.
Sounds very tasty, the two combination there. For folks out there that feel comfortable having a sandwich in their hand, you also have the Tibetan prime rib sandwich. Share with me about that.
Local meat, prime rib, roasted slow. We do add our yak cheese. Basically, the story is that a man from Switzerland, a cheesemaker, actually made it to the Himalayas, ended up living there and started making yak cheese. It has very big similarities to a very good Swiss cheese, which is great. We add some pickled onions to that, great quality bread.
I'm a meat eater myself, so that definitely sounds delicious. Key word that I really pick up here throughout an interview with you guys is fresh and local. From your salads that you make, all the herbs that you put in, but also the local community. I mean, this is really about a place where people get together, enjoy some time together. How has the public embraced you?
People have been really appreciative of what we have done with the space and the interior design, the ambiance and music and the wine list and the food. We are very happy to have much good reviews and people keep coming back. And every plate we see here is empty. We feel comfortable that our food is high quality and chefs are very confident to serve their food that they can enjoy, that means the customers will enjoy.
Been good for you then. Kind of nice for you guys to hear some of the people talk about the place, I would imagine. I've gone online, checked out some of the reviews. People enjoy what they find here. We're talking about a full-on bar as well. So this is a great place for a happy hour. I mean, not only is it great food, but it's great community. This is a place you can come out and even some entertainment, I see. Latin-infused happy hour. You've got wines, fizz wines, red wines, white wines, you name it, people enjoy the bar.
We have a great wine program, great cocktail program, some well-integrated Belgian selected beers, kombucha on draft. We make cocktails with kombucha as well. We have some elixirs made by a local man named Ish. So there's quite a few interesting things. Every Sunday afternoon we're doing a Latin-infused happy hour. So there's a nice fun salsa dancing going. We are doing live music every weekend, which will be either on a Friday or a Saturday night. So there's quite a few things going on. Yeah.
Quite a fun place to be at. We're talking about a nice facility inside. You can sit down, regular tables. You can sit down at more of the traditional Tibetan table, which is nice. But you also have a great patio out here, which I see people enjoying. Tell me what a great way to end the dinner would be.
That's our awesome chocolate cake, which covers with local fruit. We serve that with the crispy almond grounded. Do have some raspberry, Colorado peach, and with this mango sorbet. I think this is the best way to end your dinner. It's just a good treat for customers, and we are happy to see plates are empty. Those plates are empty. So yeah, it's a good sign. And we make those dessert every couple of days to keep it fresh.
Make it nice and fresh. Last question for you. Someone like myself who have never tried this type of cuisine before, what would you recommend that I try as a first-timer?
The first time you're here? I mean, I probably would like to start with some momos. They are fun. Even kids love momos. Everybody loves momos. They're delicious. We have our homemade Tibetan chili sauce that we serve with it. It's actually sitting on the table at all times. It's good for everything, especially for momos.
Especially for momos. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can learn a little bit more about this culture here, the team that has brought this out to you here, right here in Boulder. This is local community, a place where folks come together, a slice of Tibetan culture, but we're talking about really infused into Boulder. Not only the local community here as well. Take a look at the menu online. They've got lunch, they've got dinner, as well as dessert there. Check them out on Facebook. They keep their Facebook apprised, letting you know what type of entertainment they have coming at you. Great happy hours. They've got some live music, like you say, on the weekends. We had to come all the way down and check this out because, like I said, I've introduced many bistros here in Colorado, but never a Tibetan bistro. Definitely a cool place to come out. This is Gary Atensu with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.